Good morning, welcome to CATEX-TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. This is a live broadcast from Princeton, New Jersey. Today is Monday, December 7th, 2009. It's 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. It's 4:30 p.m. in London, 12:30 in Hamilton, Bermuda, and in Mexico City it's 10:30 a.m. If you need to reach us during the broadcast, you can phone in toll-free at 1-866-67-CATEX. Overseas, our AOL instant mail address is CATEX-TV. On this day in history, on Sunday, December 7, 1941, carrier-based warplanes from the Empire of Japan launched a surprise attack on the American Pacific Fleet in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, bringing the United States into the Second World War. It was a day, as Franklin Roosevelt said 2 days later, asking Congress for a declaration of war. It was a day that would live in infamy. I have visited Japan. I have a number of Japanese acquaintances, and it's time for things to be forgotten. There is some breaking news regarding Nove reinsurance based in London. You can Google this on their news site. Apparently they're putting part of their business into runoff. Another part is apparently up for sale. We'll be covering this in more detail tomorrow. The news is just coming in. Now to our main news. Today in Copenhagen, delegates from around the world are gathering for what promises to be the most important conference held internationally regarding climate change to date. Next week, President Obama is scheduled to arrive. There will be over 120 world leaders there as the conference ticks down to the final days, next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. In the United States today, the United States Environmental Protection Agency head Lisa Jackson, in about an hour and a half, is going to make a significant climate announcement. She's expected to officially declare greenhouse gases a danger to public health and welfare. This decision would be necessary for the Obama administration to move ahead with new light-duty vehicle emission standards, and of course is the precursor to economy-wide regulations on greenhouse gas emissions. The announcement will be opposed by many business groups and lawmakers who fear such an endangerment finding will place a burden on the economy. The EPA has said it's considering rules that would restrict emissions from large stationary sources such as power stations, refineries, and chemical plants. It will be seen as a major victory by environmentalists. The decision will give President Obama political leverage at negotiations at the major international climate summit in Copenhagen. It also puts pressures on lawmakers to act. Even the administration said a more finely crafted law, not a regulation, that cuts greenhouse gases would have a more moderate effect on the economy than the more blunt Clean Air Act, under which the administration is required to issue regulations. As I said, that EPA announcement will come at about 1:15 p.m. Eastern Time. In the U.S., we also have a beef recall. A company in California is recalling some 22,723 pounds of ground beef. The company is based in Fresno. It's called Beef Packers Incorporated. The ground beef may be linked to Salmonella and E. coli. The products were produced September 23rd, and they bear the establishment number EST 31913 on the case code labels. The beef was sent to distribution center in Arizona, and consumers should check with local retailers to determine if they purchased any of the recalled beef. Beef Packer spokesman Mark Klein said that the company is taking the matter seriously. Well, there's more grumbling and fallout and madness and anger at American International Group. AIG has parted ways with its head of human resources, leaving open a key vacancy in the middle of the fragile pay negotiations with the government. AIG confirmed the departure of Andrew Kaslow. He had been the human resource officer head since 2007. Apparently, Kaslow left the company in a dispute over pay restrictions himself. Home number for Kaslow had been disconnected and he couldn't be reached. Meanwhile, it now has developed that in addition to Robert Benmosh complaining about his own pay restrictions, General Counsel Anastasia Kelly and the heads of 4 insurance divisions at AIG threatened to resign last week if their own compensation packages were severely cut. That all may be proposed to the Treasury Department pay czar, Ken Feinberg. People familiar with the matter said that the 5 executives are among 75 of AIG's top 100 paid people whose salaries are now being reviewed by Feinberg. General Counsel Kelly reportedly asked fellow employees to join her in threatening to resign over possible pay cuts. Joining her in a December 1 written threat to resign were Rodney Martin, head of AIG's Asian Life Assurance Unit, Alico, William Dooley, head of the group's Financial Services Division, Nicholas Walsh, vice chairman and head of International P&C Operations, and John Doyle, head of U.S. P&C Operations. By the weekend, however, perhaps after listening to their wives, both Misters Walsh and Doyle withdrew their threats to resign. Well, we've been mentioning off and on for the past couple of weeks that John Coldman might end up as they're calling it, the parachute jump-in board director or board chairman at Omega. Tension between Omega's board and some investors did break into open conflict last week when a majority of the reinsurer's shareholders demanded that the board bring in Coldman. The Insurance Insider learned that a notice for a special general meeting was delivered to the Omega board last week with the irrevocable support of more than 60% of Omega shareholders. According to the sources, the motion demanded the appointment of 6 new directors, including Coldman, who would replace the Omega retiring chairman Walter Federitz. As a London Stock Exchange listed company, it's unclear why Omega did not disclose the existence of the motion, but one source suggested that the motion may have been temporarily withdrawn following discussions between the board and shareholders. That's not true. We find out today that Omega is resisting the moves of the shareholders to try and overhaul the company's board and parachute in John Coldman. The Bermuda-headquartered reinsurer today confirmed in London that it has received a request to hold a special general meeting, but that it had been advised by its Bermudian counsel that the notification, quote, does not constitute a legally binding requisition. The company said that the proposals contained in the letter are, quote, not in the best interest of the company. Omega did confirm, however, that the proposed special general meeting request does demand that non-executive director Chris Clark step down from the company. And the move has the support of Omega's largest shareholder, Invesco, who owns a 29% stake in the company. So I don't know what's going to happen there. It's definitely going to be played out over the next few days, though, because they're in the middle of renewals. You can't have this kind of turmoil at the management level and ask people to be signing on to you as a supplier of capacity. More reinsurance news. The insurers of the West Atlas drilling rig have formally condemned the platform following the fire that engulfed it for 3 days. Out in the Timor Sea, flames erupted on the rig during the 5th attempt to plug that 400-barrel-a-day oil leak, which is under the ocean floor beneath the rig. That's been leaking since August 21st. Insurance Day reported back in November that the owner of the platform, Norway-based Seadrill, admitted that it might have to write off the rig. By Friday afternoon, the offshore drilling contractor announced in a statement that its insurers, which Hiscox is thought